but we have 2 licenses, and when we got our driver's license, we each had to take the test. We both passed.
Imagine waking up every single day and never being able to be alone, not even for 1 second. You can't run to your room when you're upset. You can't take a private walk when you need to think. You can't even turn your head without affecting someone else. This isn't just imagination for Abby and Brittany Hensel. This has been their entire life since the day they were born. Most of us take simple things for granted, walking wherever we want to go, choosing our own clothes, sleeping peacefully without being woken up by someone else moving around. But for these 2 incredible sisters from Minnesota, every single day requires teamwork, compromise, and an unbreakable bond that most people could never understand. When Abby and Brittany came into this world in '90, doctors told their parents something that no parent ever wants to hear. They said the babies probably wouldn't survive their first night. The doctors were wrong about many things that day, but they were especially wrong about underestimating the strength and determination of these 2 little girls. You see, Abby and Brittany are conjoined twins. This means they share one body, but they have 2 separate heads, 2 separate minds, and 2 completely different personalities. When their mom was pregnant, something unusual happened very early on. A fertilized egg started to split into 2 babies just like it would for regular twins. But for some unknown reason, the splitting process stopped halfway through. This created 2 babies who would be connected for life. The numbers are staggering when you really think about them. Out of every 40,000 babies born around the world, only 1 will be a conjoined twin. But here's what makes Abby and Brittany even more special. Only 1% of conjoined twins survive more than 24 hours after birth. The type of conjoined twins that Abby and Brittany are, called D-dicephalic twins, makes up only 11% of all conjoined twin cases. And get this, there are only 3 known cases in the entire world of dicephalic twins who have survived to adulthood. Abby and Brittany are the only ones in the United States. When you first look at them, you might think they share everything, but the reality is much more complex and fascinating. Each girl has her own heart beating in her chest. Each has her own set of lungs breathing air. Each has her own stomach getting hungry at different times. Each has her own spine running down her back. But they do share some important organs too. They share a liver, a reproductive system, their ribs, their intestines, and their blood flows through the same circulatory system. The way their bodies work together is absolutely amazing. Abby controls everything on the right side of their body. Her right arm, her right leg, everything on the right is hers to control. Brittany controls the left side, her left arm, her left leg, all the left side movements. But here's where it gets really interesting. Abby can't feel anything that happens on the left side of their body, and Brittany can't feel anything on the right side. They have to completely trust each other and work together for every single movement they make. Think about how hard this must be. When they want to walk somewhere, both girls have to agree on where they're going, and then coordinate their steps perfectly. When they want to pick something up, one girl controls one arm and the other girl controls the other arm. They've had to learn to do everything together. Playing piano, swimming, riding bikes, playing volleyball, even something as simple as brushing their teeth requires both of them working as a team. But what's really beautiful about their story is how different they are as people, even though they share the same body. Abby loves math and tends to be more talkative and outgoing. Brittany loves writing and is more quiet and laid back. Abby likes pink clothes and feminine styles. Brittany prefers more tomboyish outfits. They even style their hair differently and choose different colors. Can you imagine how they handle disagreements about what to wear? Every single morning, they have to compromise on their outfit. They take turns choosing, making sure both of them feel comfortable and happy with how they look. They've even learned to customize their clothes with different necklines and hemlines, so each girl can express her own style. Their parents, Patty and Mike Hensel, made a decision early on that shaped everything about how the girls grew up. When doctors offered the possibility of separation surgery, their parents said no. The surgery would have been incredibly dangerous, and there was no guarantee both girls would survive. Instead, their parents decided to raise Abby and Brittany to embrace who they are and live the fullest life possible together. Their childhood in rural Minnesota was filled with love, support, and the message that they could do anything they set their minds to. Their parents treated them as two separate individuals, even when it came to discipline. If Abby did something wrong, only Abby got in trouble. If Brittany misbehaved, only Brittany faced the consequences. This helped both girls develop their own sense of responsibility and identity. When the girls were just 6 years old, they appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show. This was their first time in front of cameras, and it launched them into a level of fame they never expected. They appeared on the cover of Life magazine with the headline, "One Body, Two Souls." Television networks like Discovery, RI Channel, TLC, and BBC all wanted to feature their story. In 2012, when they were 22 years old, they got their own reality TV show on TLC called Abby and Brittany. The show gave viewers a chance to see what their daily life was really like. People watched them hang out with friends, go to college, and navigate all the normal challenges that young adults face, plus the unique challenges that come with being conjoined. But fame came with a price. The girls have always been private people who just want to live normal lives. They don't like it when strangers stare at them or take pictures without asking permission. While they're happy to pose for photos when people ask nicely, they find it hurtful when people treat them like a spectacle instead of like regular human beings. One of the biggest challenges they face is something most of us never think about: sleep. When one girl tosses and turns, it wakes up the other one. When one girl has a nightmare, it disturbs the other one's rest. They both admit that they're not morning people, partly because they often don't get good quality sleep due to each other's movements during the night. Getting sick presents another unique challenge. Because each girl has her own immune system, one can be perfectly healthy while the other is ill. Brittany has had pneumonia twice in her life, while Abby has never had it. They both say that being sick is one of the few times they actually wish they could be separated, because it's hard to rest and recover when you're connected to someone who feels fine and wants to be active. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about Abby and Brittany is how their minds seem to work together. Friends and family say they often finish each other's sentences. They seem to know what the other is thinking without even talking about it. When they send emails, they write as one person, not as two separate. individuals. It's like they have a connection that goes way beyond just sharing a body. When they turned 16, they faced another milestone that required teamwork: learning to drive. They had to take both the written test and the driving test twice, but they eventually passed and got their license. Abby controls the right side of the car, including the gas pedal and turn signals. Brittany handles the left side, including the parking brake. Their mom jokingly wondered what would happen if they got pulled over for speeding. Would both girls get a ticket, or just one? Education was always important to their family. The girls both went to Bethel University, where they earned degrees in education. Initially, they wanted to focus on different areas within their major, but the extra coursework became too overwhelming. So they decided to focus on the same specialty and work together, just like they do in everything else. Today, at 27 years old, Abby and Brittany work as elementary school teachers. They teach 5th grade, and their students love having 2 teachers in one. While one sister leads a lesson, the other can walk around the classroom, answer questions, and help individual students. They currently receive one salary since they work so closely together, but they hope that as they gain experience, they might be able to negotiate for higher pay. After all, as Brittany points out, they bring 2 different perspectives and teaching styles to the classroom. The girls have traveled the world together, each carrying their own passport even though they only need one airplane ticket. They've been to Europe with friends, showing that their physical situation doesn't limit their sense of adventure. They moved out of their parents' house and live independently. They go to parties, socialize with friends, and live lives that are remarkably similar to other young women their age. But some aspects of their life remain challenging and uncertain. They both dream of getting married someday and having families of their own. They believe there are people out there who will love them for who they are. The questions about how relationships and having children might work are complex ones that they'll face when the time comes, but they approach these challenges with the same determination they've shown throughout their lives. Food presents daily interesting situations. Since each girl has her own stomach, they often get hungry at different times and crave different foods. They've learned to compromise during meals, sometimes sharing foods they both enjoy, like hamburgers, which makes eating easier since they have to coordinate their arm movements to use the utensils. Their parents always made sure each girl got her own birthday cake every year, emphasizing that they are 2 separate people who deserve individual recognition. Medical experts continue to be amazed by Abby and Brittany's health and longevity. While female conjoined twins generally live longer than males, there are still concerns about potential heart problems or other complications as they get older. The girls have had several surgeries over the years to address issues with their spine, but overall they've maintained good health. What strikes most people about Abby and Brittany is their positive attitude and determination. They've never let their physical situation hold them back from pursuing their dreams. They've exceeded every expectation that doctors, teachers, and mentors had for them. They've shown the world that being different doesn't mean having limitations. Their story challenges all of us to think about what we consider normal and what we think is possible. They've proven that with love, support, determination, and teamwork, people can overcome incredible challenges and live fulfilling lives. They've taught us that differences should be celebrated, not hidden away. The bond between Abby and Brittany goes beyond what most siblings experience. They've never known life without each other. They have never had a private moment. They have never made a decision completely on their own. Yet they've found ways to maintain their individual identities while working together as a team. They have learned the true meaning of compromise, cooperation, and unconditional love. As they continue into their adult lives, Abby and Brittany remain optimistic about their future. They have careers they love, friends who support them, and family who has always believed in them. They continue to exceed expectations and show the world that anything is possible when you have determination and the right support system. Their journey isn't over. There are still challenges ahead, dreams to pursue, and goals to achieve. But if their past is any indication, Abby and Brittany will continue to face whatever comes their way with grace, determination, and the unbreakable bond that has carried them through everything life has thrown at them. Most of us will never face the challenges that Abby and Brittany deal with every single day. But their story teaches us valuable lessons about resilience, acceptance, love, and the power of working together. They remind us that our differences make us special, not less than others. They show us that with the right attitude and support, we can overcome obstacles that seem impossible. The next time you're facing a challenge that feels overwhelming, remember Abby and Brittany Hensel. Remember two little girls who were told they wouldn't survive their first night, but who grew up to become teachers, world travelers, and an inspiration to millions of people around the globe. Remember that sometimes our greatest challenges can become our greatest strengths, and that we're often capable of much more than we think we are. If this incredible story of strength, determination, and sisterly love touched your heart like it touched mine, please hit that like button to show your support for Abby and Brittany. Share this video with someone who needs to hear an inspiring story today. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories of people who refuse to let challenges define their limits. Together, we can spread more positivity and inspiration in this world, just like Abby and Brittany have been doing their entire lives.